Honorable Namdas, it's crystal clear that how the leadership of the two arms of the National Assembly came by is something that came with a lot of controversies. And we know the role that party played in that and what didn't happen and what did happen. But again, one will wonder, maybe or just maybe, the political undertones or the leadership of the National Assembly and the crisis created is not yet over.
Well, I want to agree with you that at the beginning when we came in, there was some kind of topsy-turvy issues and we were on turbulence. But I think we have put that behind us. We've been able to focus to see that we can move forward because although the leadership came the way we wanted it at the National Assembly, but we believe that we are also of the majority political party, most of us in the APC. But again, we also share the vision of Mr. President. I think the most important thing is that even when you don't get what you want, the moment you have a vision and people share in your vision, I think we should all cue into that. And when Mr. President came clearly and said, look, at the beginning of our session at 8th Assembly, he even said, look, I am not going to take part, I am not going to take side with anybody. Whoever emerges as the leader, as the Speaker or Senate President, I'm going to work. And I think he's working with these two leaders. And we have put that behind us. We have been able to sort out some of these issues. And I think people should also encourage that we should move forward. I think it is good for Nigeria. But let us not continue to look backwards because we share in the vision of the poverty, provide employment for Nigeria. We want also to ensure that we reduce the level of insurgency. It is sad that today we are marking 2 years of the abduction of Chibok girls. We should be talking about how to move forward, how these children will be released. I think how Nigeria will make sure that there is no inflation in the market. I think that should be more serious for Nigerians to listen to us. I think we should forget about what has happened in the past because we should be moving forward.
Interesting, because exactly that is what has given a lot of Nigerians concern. And some of us who are following the situation of things between the two arms of government, that is what is really giving us concern, that we know that there is a strained relationship between the two arms of government. But what is more interesting in all of this issue is the fact that it is a government that is led by the APC. It's an APC-led National Assembly. It's an APC-led executive. It looks so much that there is some crisis in your party, and that's why somewhat some political solutions have not been able to be used to cure some of these political disease worrying the two arms of government.
There may be some sort of disagreements, but I can't say that of a crisis. In APC, we are a family, we are working ahead. But even if it's a nuclear family, you find that there are issues. Sometimes you disagree with one another, but you get to sort out yourselves. And that makes you even more matured. People respect that more. I think for us, I want people to tell us, what is it that the executive needed from us in the National Assembly that we will not be able to give that? Let me take you back. When in November also, that Mr. President brought in his supplementary budget, we almost passed that with the speed of light. In fact, even the opposition were also part of it. They agreed that, look, we are in trouble. Let us pass that because at that time, we needed to pay subsidy. And we did that to surprise Nigeria that, look, we are on the same page. When Mr. President came again with the list of advisors, his ministers, all these were tackled and it was passed. So I think we are doing the right thing. For example, when the budget issue came, and we passed the budget and it was transmitted to Mr. President for signing. So people came with another theory that, look, we have removed the railway project from Calabar to Lagos, all in an attempt to give a dog a bad name in order to hang it. But I want to tell you clearly that I have said it repeatedly. There was no provision for a railway project between Calabar to Lagos, both in the original document that was laid and even in the amended version. And if what I'm saying is not true, the document did not emanate from us. It emanated from the executive. They can make it clear, they can publish it in national daily for people to see. But truly it's not from us. But we agree that it is a very, very, very viable project. But that is why we went into a closed-door meeting. We agreed, let these small things should no longer be there. What are the issues? Bring the issues before us. We, our leaders, will sit down and we make that. Nigerians want to see things working. We are also
because Honorable Namdas, let me on the issue of the project. Let me quickly ask you, because we've seen the executive reply the National Assembly that project was actually there. It was presented at a supplementary or the revised, the reviewed edition of the budget that was presented. Under the Ministry of Transportation, it was there, and it was stated there that those two projects were there, and it's part of what the president went to China to seek loans for. And so one will be wondering, and at that time we heard the spokesperson of the Senate saying that they will have to call the Minister of Transportation and probably will be asking him at some point to resign. That's kind of a response we got from the National Assembly.
Let me be very clear. The presidency did not say, and I repeat, did not say that it was in the amended version, because the original version too, that was laid on the 22nd of December 2015, it did not contain the project. The amended version that was also later corrected, it was not in that version. And that is why I make bold to say, if it is there, let it be published for Nigerians to see, because we also have a copy of that. But what we are saying is that it was true that a Minister of Transport came at the level of committee and met with the committee chairman of both the Senate and probably the House of Reps, and on the same issue. But what we said is that it was not the procedure. And I told you in the early stage of this program, we believe in procedure. It is only Mr. President who will lay the budget before us. Somebody cannot be asked. Don't forget that it is this president who came personally and handed over and laid this thing before us, and it was not there. But what we are saying, if they are so concerned that they need this project, let Mr. President make it known to us. It must not come through the back door.
Okay.
Because when things come through the back door and you allow it, it's not good. Okay.
Honorable Nadas, just for a moment, let's get some other perspectives into the matter. Mr. Obafemi George, a political analyst, joins me in the studio now. Many thanks, Mr. George, for coming on the program.
Thank you very much, Sean.
You've been following what has been happening in the nation over the last few weeks. What would you deduce from what has transpired between the executive and the legislature? What do you think is happening, really?
I think what we're seeing that is the major cause for these political undertones is a fallout of what happened early on when this government came into power. The leadership of both houses, the House of Representatives and the Senate, there wasn't really a kind of a quorum that was formed in terms of decisions that were made in terms of who's meant to become the leader of the two houses. And because of that, that strained the relationship between the executive and the legislative. That's why what you're seeing today keeps reoccurring. For crying out loud, this is April, second quarter of the year. The economy is at a standstill. It is the president's prerogative to come up with a budget. And the president has come to you to say, listen, I have a strategic project I want to do. I want to link Lagos to Calabar. For obvious reasons, the Apapa port is highly congested. The nation is losing tens of billions of naira to Republic of Benin. Let me connect these two places. There's a deep sea port coming up in Calabar. This will enhance the economy of the country. This will create jobs for our youth. And the budget goes into the House. Now, you now have chairman of appropriation committee now sitting down, taking the funds from one budget, from one project, and allocating it to another project, which was not in the budget.
He actually said that they did not remove it.
No, but I mean, facts that came out of the chairman of the Senate Committee on Land and Transport, Senator Gbenga Shafa, told us that this was in the budget that was defended by the Minister for Transport. That's a senator telling us that. So he can't come on here to now tell us that, no, that was not in. Yes, they did agree. Senator Udo, the Minister for Budget and Planning, told us that, yes, the first budget that was submitted, it wasn't there. But that in the supplementary budget, it was there. So why would you now remove that and now begin to apportion funds to road project that you don't even have designs for?
Well, it is interesting now because I do think that there is, right there on the screen, a former Senator Ita Enang, a former senator there, who is advising the president on National Assembly matters. These are some of the people that are supposed to be helping in making sure that there is a peaceful coexistence between the two arms of government. Do you see any breakdown in communication between the two arms of government, or what exactly could have caused all of this?
My own conclusion is that what we're going through right now, what we're experiencing, can be likened to what happened in 1999 at the beginning of this dispensation, when there was always so much, going back and forth between the executive and the legislature. But over a period of time, that was smoothing out. Now, you will realize that this is the first time you have an opposition party coming into power. So they're just taking off. Give them like a year, things will smoothen out. Interests will align and realign. And when you have that happening, what we want to see as Nigerians is a smooth relationship between the executive and the legislature. Because you know what, at the end of the day, we are the ones at the receiving end. If the economy is not moving, if jobs are not being created, we are the ones at the receiving end, not the legislative, not even the executive, because there are perks of office that insulates them from the reality of the economy of the nation. So we want them to work together and move this nation forward.
All right, we'll take a moment, and when we return, my two guests are still with me, but we should focus to what could be the gains of President Buhari's foreign trips. Join us again.